Hi, I am Joni, and I'm one of the care coordinators with Dorothy Light Hospice. I had the privilege to connect with the Jarvis family about just over a year ago. The referral came through from Dr. Chopra at the Trillium Hospital, and that was when Colin was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. I've had the privilege over the last year and a bit to witness them have very hard conversations with family around treatment options, navigate their anticipatory grief experiences, as well as talk about advanced care planning conversations while focusing on living and celebrating life and their family and their time together. So I have nothing but gratitude to the Jarvis family for allowing me to participate in this experience with them.
Yeah, so we had a family meeting, and then I've been meeting with her individually for the most part for the past year, and then we'll meet together as a couple and sometimes as a family. But it's the benefit for me has been a mental benefit because I haven't been showing any symptoms. I haven't been experiencing any real physical symptoms, and so it's trying to put these two things together where you've got stage 4 cancer, but it's not manifesting in anything. And how do I deal with that? And it's been so beneficial for her to help walk through the whole process, and this is what's going to happen, and this is how we can help you, and it's just this is probably what you're feeling, and are you feeling this, and how can you handle these feelings, and this is what the family's probably going through, and talk about these things with your family, and so it's been really, really beneficial from that perspective to say, okay, you might want to think about doing some of these things. Just writing letters and things like that I probably wouldn't have thought of on my own, but have been very, very difficult, but very helpful at the same time in that sense. So she's been an excellent guide for this whole journey. Like, I've been just when you said one of the questions over, it's like Joni's been incredible, and she's really made this journey. I don't know how much harder it could have been, but it would have been brutal without her. I can't say that enough. It's just been so helpful. I've had someone to help me do this and not do it by myself, and not have to depend on my wife or my family who are in the same boat as me, not knowing anything. And Joni had a great term, and it was anticipatory grief, and it's so true, because we've been doing it for a year now, and it ebbs and flows.
Yes.
And it's really, really low, and then you get back up, and then you have these little dips. But yeah, it had gone away for a while, but now that the symptoms are back, or are starting up, I guess, we're doing it again, which is expected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on a different level now.
Yeah, it's a different level now. It's less surreal.
Yeah. For me as a mom, because I have a lot of concerns about Colin, but that's that's a medical, and there's a mental piece, but that's a different kind of, I'm concerned about him suffering and those kinds of things that I don't want to have to see. But with my kids, it's, as a mom, it's different. I'm worried about how they're going to cope when they're younger, and there's these things that they counted on having, as a family, having Colin or all of us here for, that aren't going to happen now. And that's, so she's been helpful in that, and especially helpful with Charlotte in that sense, because Charlotte will talk about it. Like, she'll say, I'm thinking about this is where I am. And then she gets Bridget to think about the things that she might have been burying. So, and I think she's been a great facilitator for that, for sure.
Fantastic.
I think it's just like she really provides a space, like as the family as a whole, to like talk about the things that you don't want to talk about, or that you like, not even that, but like everyone's like thinking it all in the back of their mind. They just don't want to be the first to say it, and so like she provides the space to be like, well, like, what do you want to do? Like that was one of the things she said. Like, literally, you have this time now. What do you want to do? And so just like coming up with things, like she gave us some really good ideas, and like just starting the ball rolling on like what it's all about, like the no regrets, like what can you do moving forward in your life so that in this time you've done XYZ to ensure that the rest of the time that we have like alive without my dad is still like ideal for us. So like what can we do to prep for that, like in the situations where he's not going to be there anymore. She's given like some good ideas on how we can still like have him present in our lives moving forward, because I think that's like the hardest thing, losing a parent, is that they're not going to be like there for you and like the times that you really imagine them there in your life. So she's really provided like ideas and just like a place for us to talk about that, because it's just not a natural thing that you kind of think of or talk about at all. Because I mean, like, you're supposed to lose your parents at some point, but it's supposed to be once you're established in your life, which my sister and I are very much not. So she like is really helpful in that sense of like preparing you for something that you've never thought to be prepared for.
The grieving, that we've been grieving for over a year now, so that when it happens, the edges won't be as sharp, that it'll be muted, it will be hard. Like I said, I worry about putting Charlotte back on a plane after she comes home. Like, how do I do that? Send her off again by herself, even though she's an adult and all that.
Sure.
And Joni said it's going to be very different. And she said, I know, I've seen this, very different from if it was a sudden death that you weren't expecting.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be easier. Not easy, but easier.
Big thank you. It's such a terrible journey, but Joni's made it much easier from what I would imagine it would be. I couldn't imagine doing this on my own.